The Butcher and the Wolf. This one's adapted from Chapter 1 in Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. The origin story. There are two ways a man dies in a bucket shop. He guesses wrong and the market eats him, or he guesses right and the house eats him. If you don't know which death is coming, you're already dead. It is 1897. Larry Livingston is 20 years old and he has $10,000 in cash. He is standing inside the Cosmopolitan Stock Brokerage Company. It is the biggest, richest bucket shop in New England. Larry is short 3,500 shares of sugar. He has 7 pink tickets in his pocket. A man named Williams is short another 2,500. 6,000 shares betting on the drop. The house holds the margins. The house needs them to be wiped out. The thinner the shoestring, the better for the shop. They don't sell stock. They sell slaughter. Sugar drops to 103. According to the math, it should break and keep dropping. But Larry feels a shift in the room. The air gets thick, like the drop in pressure before a tornado. He doesn't know why. He can't spot the wolf, but smells the blood. He steps away from the ticker. He tells a man named Wyman to take his place and call the next price. Larry walks over to the clerk's counter. He stands there, 7 pink tickets in his hand, hidden. Then he hears it, the frantic click of the telegraph. The clerk turns his head, listening, waiting. Larry sees the trap spring. Wyman, by the ticker, opens his mouth. Pshaw! Larry slaps his 7 tickets on the counter. Low sugar. He beats Wyman's voice by a fraction of a second. Wyman calls the price. 103. The clerk stares at the tickets. He doesn't mark them. He is listening to the telegraph, waiting for the execution order from New York. Larry doesn't plead. He doesn't ask. He drives the nail. What in hell are you waiting for? Mark the price on these tickets. 103. The room goes dead silent. Every man turns to look. A run on a bucket shop starts like a run on a bank. Fear is contagious. Panic is a stampede. The clerk knows it. He looks at Larry. Larry looks back. The transaction is absolute. The clerk marks the tickets. Closed at 103. Larry turns to walk to the cashier's cage. 8 feet away. Before he takes a second step, Wyman yells from the ticker. God, sugar, 108. A 5-point jump in a dead market. The house took the $20,000 in margin, bought enough sugar on the New York Exchange to spike the price, and wiped out every short in the room. A blind ambush. They wiped out Williams. They wiped out the rest. But they didn't wipe out Larry. He chose to trust his gut. He chose to force the clerk's hand. The house chose to rig the tape and bought themselves an empty cage. He looks at the clerk and smiles. It didn't work that time, did it, old boy? He takes his cash. He walks out. But a slaughterhouse doesn't close just because one steer gets away. 10 days later, the Cosmopolitan left their doors open. But they didn't catch a calf. They caught a grizzly, a New York operator. A bear from the Bryan Panic of '96. He knew how the bucket shop's thimble rigged the tape. So he decided to bleed them. He sent 35 men into 35 branches of the Cosmopolitan. They walked in, they waited. At an exact fixed hour, they bought as much of a specific stock as the managers would let them carry. Invisible net, waiting in the dark. Then, the operator walked onto the floor of the real New York Stock Exchange. He didn't hide. He stepped into the light. He bid the price of that stock up 3 or 4 points himself. Brute force. The telegraph instruments clicked. The tape printed the new price. And in 35 bucket shops across New England, 35 agents cashed their tickets. They drained the Cosmopolitan for $70,000 net. Cleaned them out to the bone. The bucket shop chose to rig the game. The operator chose to break the board and bought himself a slaughter. There are butchers and there are cattle. But sometimes, the butcher meets a wolf.